happy about the role he's created for himself, David says he feels like an employee working for everyone else. He often fantasizes about selling the business, downsizing his family's lifestyle, and trying something new. David's not sure he's willing to continue paying such a high price for success. Or there's Margaret, whose unhappiness has more to do with an inner challenge than with her external circumstances. After dropping the kids off at school, Margaret drives to work feeling conflicted. The mother of 2 boys and the owner of a wholesale gift company, Margaret feels like she's being pulled in 2 different directions. On the one hand, she thrives in the excitement and sense of accomplishment that she gets from growing a successful company. On the other, she longs to be with her boys while they're growing up. The stress of this conflict is starting to wear her down. It's hard enough juggling what feels like 2 full-time jobs, her business and her family, but the added pressure of this inner turmoil makes it unbearable. Margaret knows that something's got to give. Although the details of your life may be different, the feelings of frustration, exhaustion, and loneliness may be all too familiar. For many of us who live in a fast-paced, adrenaline-fueled society, questions about meaning, purpose, and true happiness are faithful companions in the day-to-day creation of our lives. We long for something more. Years of searching for happiness and fulfillment in the external world of work have taken their toll. We've lost ourselves in the daily madness of our busy lives. As a personal coach, I became a partner with my clients, and during our weekly meetings, I'd help them to reevaluate their priorities, redefine success based on a more holistic perspective of life, and take the necessary actions to bring about the positive changes they desired. Each week, clients would leave with an action plan, and I quickly noticed that the small weekly homework assignments started to make a big difference. One client who had lived in a chaotic, cluttered environment for years started creating order out of chaos and regained a whole new perspective on his life. Another client, who had suffered from the heavy burden of debt created by years of financial irresponsibility, began to make small weekly changes that improved her financial health, and her savings started to grow. During my time working with clients, I learned a lot about what prevents us from living authentic, meaningful lives. And as I shifted my attention from working with individuals to working with groups, I received a lot of feedback on what was holding them back as well. In December 1998, I published Take Time for Your Life in order to share this knowledge with a larger audience. In this book, I took readers through the same coaching process that I used with clients in my private practice. The steps in the book were designed to help readers take a realistic look at their lives and to help them evaluate what needed to change in order for them to feel happier and to live a higher quality life. For example, I encouraged readers to begin making self-care a top priority, so they could make proactive life choices instead of reactive ones. I led them through a process of getting their priorities straight, identifying and eliminating those things that were draining their energy, and investing in their financial health so they would feel more fully in charge of their lives. I introduced readers to the challenges of living in an adrenaline-crazed society, and I showed them how to slow down and begin exchanging unhealthy forms of fuel, like caffeine, sugar, and anxiety, for healthier forms, like a supportive community and a personalized spiritual practice. I also went out on the road speaking about these topics to larger audiences who felt disillusioned with their lives. As I spoke to audience members and read through the letters and emails I received from readers of my first book, it was clear that these strategies were working and that my readers wanted more. They wanted to continue to hear about others who were making changes in their lives, and they wanted bite-sized homework that they could implement on a weekly basis to support them in making the changes I had outlined in the book. That's when I decided to use technology to my advantage. In January of 1999, I launched an online newsletter called Life Makeover for the year 2000. I designed the newsletter to support readers by providing simple, practical strategies that they could use to improve their personal and professional lives on a weekly basis. Based on my experience while coaching clients, I decided to use the 1 week at a time process, not only to help make change easier for more people, but to make the process fun and effective as well. Each week I chose a random topic that addressed a certain area of personal or professional growth, and I added a specific action that readers could take during the week to help improve this area.